Okay, guys, I thought we would discuss the GST identification number registration process. Though the form is little stretched out, it's rather simple, and it's a job any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do. I'll take you straight to the form and tell you how to fill it up. Okay, please. So, guys, as usual, you have your legal name of the business at the top, PAN number, email, and mobile. This is standard for all GST forms. Next screen. Then you need to fill out trade name. If you have a trade name different from your legal name of business, fill it out. And then what is the constitution of your business? Is it partnership, proprietary? Is it private limited, public limited, etc.? Tick what is relevant. Moving on. In the next screen, you fill up the state in which you are located and under which GST circle do you belong to, and the jurisdiction of the GST circle. Okay. The next column is the option for composition. If you are opting for composition, tick that column. Okay. Composition we have already discussed. This is for entities with annual turnover less than 1.5 crore. They can opt for composition levy, and they can opt for composition GST reporting system, much similar than the regular. Moving now, you have the date of commencement of business and things like that. Back previous screen, please. The date of commencement of business, and you have the date on which liability to pay tax arises, means exactly 1 month or the 10th of the subsequent month. Then whether you are applying for registration as a casual taxable person. This is actually someone who is not running a permanent business. It could be someone running a temporary business, or it could be a practitioner who is practicing GST itself. If his revenue crosses 20 lakhs, obviously is also bound to register because he is offering a service. Next. And then you mention which all taxes are applicable. If you are interstate, IGST, otherwise CGST is GST. Okay. If you are under temporary registration, you can mention the period. Okay. Then the reason to obtain registration. Generally, reasons are simple. One is crossing the threshold of 20 lakhs. Sometimes it may be change of ownership. Sometimes it may be nature of business. If you have interstate supply or e-commerce, you have to essentially register. So what is the reason for registration? Okay, moving on. Okay, it could be amalgamation, merger, demerger, any change in ownership of the company, you have to re-register again. Okay. Then old registration numbers, central excise, service tax, etc. you mentioned here. Moving on. All the old registration numbers, VAT, etc. Okay. Your corporate identity number, if any, you mentioned there. Okay. Previous GSTIN, if any, temporary registration, if any, etc. Then address of the principal place of business, main place. Moving on. And the nature of business, okay, nature of possession of premises, whether it is owned, rented, leased, etc. Just tick mark. Nature of business, manufacturing, wholesale, etc. Not a big deal, just mark. What is the nature of business? Exports, warehousing, whatever. Then comes details of bank accounts. You have to mention account number. Type of account, bank name, etc. Then type of goods that you handle with HSN code. Say, for example, you are handling cement. What is the HSN code? Moving on. If you are handling services, for example, you are handling logistics. What is the services accounting code? We have discussed all this in other classes. Okay. Address of other places of business, additional place. If you have a branch, mention that. The address of branches and things like that, nothing big. Moving on. Then nature of possession of the branch office, owned, rented, whatever. What are you doing at the branch office? Sometimes at the main office you may be manufacturing, at the branch office you may be wholesaling, so whatever. Okay, all this here. Moving on. Then he mentioned, yeah, these are the details of the proprietors, partners, directors, etc. Full address. Moving on. Addresses, residential, including residential. And then details of the authorized signatory is the man who is authorized to sign the GST return. Normally it is the managing partner, managing director, etc. Okay, if it's a Hindu undivided family, HUF, it is a Karta or the leader of the family. Moving on. The address of the authorized signatory. Moving on. And finally, details of the authorized representative. This is generally the GST practitioner who is authorized to represent you. So his details. Moving on. So well, that's it. So it's a simple form to recall. That is, you need to give the constitution of your business, the nature of your business, all addresses, all bank accounts, all details of directors, details of the authorized signatory, and details of the authorized representative. Damn simple, it's not a big deal. So that's all about GSTIN registration. Initially, when you start practice, you will have more of GSTIN registrations to handle than return filing, because the old clients may be attached to existing practitioners. So the new clients will attach to you. So they may have to generate a GSTIN. So initially you may be handling a lot of GST registrations. Thank you very much. So that's it.